What? Who are you talking to?
You!
Oh.
These guys are amateurs, or?
Could be.
Could be, huh? Alrighty. I'll tell you what, I started out with a block of wood, the tree's like this big around.
Good to go?
And then I cut it up here. I've got plates that I use. This was a 6-inch plate. I laid it on top, then I cut it out with a bandsaw. And then go around like that. Well, then I pull this out and I turn it around and I put it on here and then I drill my hole. And then we come up.
What do you do with the hole? Are you finding center or are you just guesstimating?
Well, I had the center when I centered this. So then I turned it over and I laid it right here and then I drilled my hole. Okay. Then I come up, kind of put this on here. This is the way you want to turn a bowl with the screw. I come up here, I put that on there so that it's captured. You know what I mean? It's just not going to come off. It's just a safe way to do it. A safer way. How you doing?
Good.
Come on in. And when we get done with this demo, we got free beer and pizza up there, and I'm buying.
Hey, all right.
In the back, yep, and wine. So, as soon as we're done, you go back there, and there's 2 ladies in the back of the store. They'll hook you right up. All right.
Hey, Ray.
Yeah.
Is it okay for me to be back in the corner?
What's that?
Is it okay for me to be back in the corner?
Sure. You're right there. Come on back.
From one side, I want from the other.
All right. Okay. To start out with, this is a lathe. You got the headstock. You got the tailstock. This is called a banjo and a tool rest. That's all you got to know. Secondly, I teach what I call the 45, 45, 45. It's just the simplest way to do it. And that being said, I hold a tool at a 45 degree from my body, either way, depending on how you want to do it. I stand 45 degrees to the lathe, and I turn the sharp pointy end in 45 degrees. I'm looking for the sweet spot. Turn the lathe on. I turn as fast as I can safely. And I kind of turn, you kind of just feel the machine kind of vibrate, and usually that's a little bit over 800 RPMs per minute. I always start out with this. So, we got good posture, right? We're standing up straight, and we're holding this 45. And we're taking off 1/8 of an inch. You can come in closer.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, let's try to see what we got. This is box elder. It's got a lot of red in it. It is just beautiful. Isn't that something? Look at that. That is just fantastic. Okay, I got to get rid of this, and we got to get rid of that. So we're going to turn it down a little bit more. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Not bad, not bad at all. Are you a turner?
No.
Well, you're going to get
might
right
be.
up here close.
Is it safe to do after you're drinking all those beers back there?
Don't want to drink no beers. We'll see it afterwards.
What?
You see, we're just taking off 1/8 of an inch at a time. There is nothing to turning. It is the most simple thing in the world. Get somebody who knows what he's doing, teach you, and you won't. Just life will be good. So I'm going to come up here and do it again. We're taking off 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. Tell you what, this is just fun. Gonna come back, take another peek, see what we got. Oh, that's really nice. That's nice. Look at it, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
This is just a beautiful piece of wood right here. Okay, so now I'm going to turn my tool rest just in a little bit. Okay, and we're going to start shaping. Come down here to 45, 45, 45. We're going to go through there. And we're just going right through air almost. Isn't that cool? I'll tell you what, this is just big fun. And you people that have a lot of stress in your life, I'll tell you what, there is no better stress remover than turning. I could be having the worst day in the world. I put a log on my lathe, I start turning, I just feel better. The heck with that. So, I get away from the old lady. What we're doing, we're making a foot so we can turn this thing around. Let's see where we're at. That doesn't look too bad. Yeah. Next I'm going to use, this is called a bedan. And the bedan is smaller on the bottom and larger on top, and it allows the chips to leave when you turn it. So we're going to turn this puppy on. I'm going to start right here. Okay. I don't care what you say, this is cool. Okay. I'm going to take this guy right off. We'll put this in here, and we're going to unscrew it. There's nothing that holds better than a screw on the lathe up there. It just really does a good job. And we're going to take the screw out. And you can see that comes with each, anybody, you buy a chuck, you always get one. And this is definitely the way you should turn, is with the screw. I'm going to put him back there. Now I'm going to take our chuck. There's a lot of brands out there, you know, they all work about the same. Some tell more lies than others. I'm going to put that on there like that. That looks pretty good. Tighten her down.
What make is that lathe?
This is a Jet, and I really like it. They sell them up there. They got them. I don't get any money or anything, but I think they got a 15% discount on them, and normally they sell for about 800 bucks. So, but I really do like the lathe. Okay. I'm gonna move this in, and we're gonna face this thing off. Let's start out with, we're going to do a straight cut. The bevel's going to be right straight. The tool is going straight in. We start up here. Okay. We always ride the bevel when we're turning, and this is the better place to show it. It's right here. See, this is flat. You're not doing anything until you get the pointy end in it. And see how it's cutting? So, okay, with that being said, we're going to face this off. And when we start, we got the tool pointed at a 45-degree angle. When we end up in the center, it's going to be straight horizontal, okay? See, we keep turning it in and turning it in. And when we're turning, I'm sure everybody, isn't that a beautiful piece of wood? I mean, that is just knocked down pretty. You never know what you're going to get until you get into the bowl. You guys see where it's happening? It was a little bit rougher in the center right here. In the center, this lathe is set for about 1,000 RPMs is what it's running at. Out here, speed-wise, it's probably 2,000. So it's going faster out here. Now, the closer I get in, the speed is drops down, so that you gotta either stop and take a lighter cut or go up, but that it's always harder. So we're gonna come up here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a cove. And we're gonna start right here, and we're gonna just put it in right about there. Okay, now we got the cove. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna put the bevel right inside the cove, right here, and we're gonna start turning. And you can see right here, see how that's going? It's almost a no-brainer. This is so simple. I mean, there's just nothing simpler than turning. You're riding the bevel, and it just, so we're gonna start up here. When we're turning the inside, we're turning the outside of the bowl. I told you to keep your hand at 45 degrees, 45 into your belly, both ways, either which way you're going. When you're doing the outside, or the inside of the bowl, you can't do that. Otherwise, I'd have to be turning, I'd have to have my leg over the top of the, it's just not gonna work. So what I do, we put it in like this, and we lock our arms. And now we're turning. See, we're not moving our arms. You don't ever wanna move your arms doing turning, because you'll just get in trouble. So, we're coming back. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. We're putting that right inside the cove, and we're turning. See how I'm using my body? It's just like the way teaching you how to dance, teaching you the waltz. Now see, I get in that far. Now it's going considerably slower in the inside. So now I'm going to come out and I'm going to take about half of that and cut it. Now I'm going to take half. See how we're doing that? I'm going to come back here. This time I'm going to get a little bit more straight in. Now, anytime you move the tool rest, make sure you turn the machine off. But you always want the tool rest in as close as you can. The closer the better, the more control you're going to have. Come back here, we're going to put it inside again. Okay, we're going to come back here. This is just a no-brainer.
You could work from this side when you have a freestanding lathe.
What's that now?
You could work from this side if you had with a freestanding lathe.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And you could just put the machine in reverse and turn it around.
That, yeah.
Yeah, and this machine, it has a forward and a reverse. And for sanding, it's kind of nice. You're sanding both ways. You're knocking the fibers down.
Lefties and righties.
Yeah, yep, oh, exactly. Look at that inside there. Guys, this is just, you never know what you're going to get when you're turning a piece of wood. I try to draw something out on paper, and then I try to copy that, but then I start, and the wood tells me something else. And so I do with the wood, Oh, come back here. So, come back here again. My calipers and see how we are. God given. Got a little nub in there.
How dry is that wood?
It's wet.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and I turn all wet. That's what I do. I would turn this, then I would take this, the chips, and pack them inside here. I'd put it in in a paper bag, fold it up, and put it on a shelf down in your basement. And I would get it back down about 10 months later.
Okay.
And then we're gonna return it. What I would ask you to do is, you guys starting out, I'd like you to turn 100 bowls. And by the time you get done with your 100 bowls, you're gonna be a pretty fair turner. And you can do that in a relatively short time. Then by the time you get done with your 100 bowls, you can start back on this one, number 1, and straighten it out. And it's just a good way of doing things. It just really, really works.
How wet is wet? Is that fresh cut?
Fresh cut, yep. I'm gonna take this and shape this a little bit. Now we got her. Yeah. That's pretty close. Now, we would let this thing go, like I say, about 10 months of drying. Then we put it back on the lathe and we'd return it, and then we'd put a finish on it. And yes, sir.
While you're returning that 10 months later, are you going to thin out the walls on the
Yeah, we could any way you want. You thin it out, and it's going to be dry, and it's going to take a finish. Now, when you've done this, what I like to do is I've got it back on the lathe now. It's dry. What I like to do is if the finish or the side walls are kind of running in right now, you don't want that. And you don't want them flat. What you want them going this way. And what you want is so when this is sitting on a table up here, and someone walks in the house and they look at that, it's going to take them right inside the bowl, and they're going to walk over there and say, Jim, did you make that? You go say, yeah. So let me get that and I'll show you.
After the 10 months, you don't get any checking?
Shouldn't get any. What you're gonna do, you got to put the seal, the chips in there with it,
Yep.
and you just roll it up. And actually, if the say let a month go by, then maybe open the bag up, and it won't crack. You'll lose maybe 5%. If you get into it like I do, there's a sealer you can buy. It's called In Sealer, and you just paint it on. It's a wax, and it's clear, so I can write box elder and today's date on it, and so I know exactly when I made it, and then go from there. This guy.
They were ordered right, Matt.
See, you can see how you can see inside there, and that's what you want. That'd be sitting there on a table, and that would take you right inside the bowl. See what I mean?
Yep.
You want to get some of these chips and put them in there, and well, get a plastic bag.
I can finish it up.
Yeah, put that in there, and
Here's a bunch
about
of,
10 months from now, you can return that.
I'll put it
And
on.
then when you're returning it in 10 months, you're just taking tiny bit off. You're just kind of,
Whatever you want to do, you can make that like a quarter of an inch thick or whatever.
why don't you do it all now?
It would crack and it's going to bend. That thing is going to warp like you would not believe.
I put the chips, I'm gonna put the chips on it.
Why don't you just do it all when it's hard?
What was the question
Why
again?
don't you do it all, more of it when it's dry?
bag?
Yeah, put that part in the bag, yeah. Yep, drop the whole thing in there. When you get home, take it out of there and put it in a paper bag.
There you go. We got some more.
I'll take that home and turn it there.
I'll put cleaning the floor too.
Yep. Yep.
So
You want
extra
it,
charge.
you want it right about there. You want that usually about maybe a little over a half-inch thick. And it's going to warp. It'll be one side will be a half-inch higher than the other. It's just almost crazy.
And so why do you do this much of it when it's wet?
Yeah.
But why? Why don't
Because
you do
so
it
you
all
got
when it's
some-
dry? Is it harder to do? Is it chip
Yeah, it's
easier,
gonna,
or-
it's really gonna warp. That one, you'll probably end up, it'll be 7/16 to a quarter of an inch is what you'll have, because it's gonna bend that much.
It warps.
It's gonna warp.
And you straighten
No,
it
I
out.
understand.